In the previous video, we looked at the Site Options page at Site Settings, User Settings, Group Settings, and Institution Settings. Now we will continue with Account Settings. Under Account Settings, we have 4 options. For security reasons, after a specified period of inactivity, a user will be automatically logged off the site. This session lifetime field specifies how many minutes before a user who is inactive on the site is logged out. If default account lifetime is set, user accounts will expire after this amount of time from when they were created. When a user account is expired, the user cannot log in. This time may be specified in days, weeks, months, years, or no end date may be selected where user accounts should never expire. If default account inactivity time is set, users who do not log into the site for this amount of time will be considered inactive and will not be able to log in. This may also be set in days, weeks, months, years, or no end date may be selected where user accounts should not be made inactive. If the warning time is set, a warning message will be sent to a user this amount of time before their account is due to expire or become inactive. This time may be set in days, weeks, months, years, or no end date may be selected where users should not receive a warning before their account expires or they are flagged as having an inactive account. Security Settings has 5 options. If virus checking is enabled, all files uploaded by users will be run through a ClamAV virus scan. You do have to have ClamAV installed on your server. Many Linux distributions have ClamAV packages, or you can download and install it from the ClamAV website. The next box then requires the file system path to ClamScan or ClamDscan for virus checking. It is assumed that a failure of Clam to run will mean that a file should be treated as a virus, and a quarantine directory will be automatically set up by your Mahara installation. There are 3 levels of anti-spam protection available for publicly visible forms, such as the Contact Us and registration forms. None means no anti-spam checks will be performed on form submissions. Simple, some basic checks are performed. Form submissions with email addresses that are not well formed or have an excessive number of URLs are rejected. Advanced requires an internet connection. It performs additional checks to determine whether email addresses are real or contained URLs are blacklisted. If the Spamhaus URL blacklist option is enabled, URLs will be checked against the Spamhaus DNSBL. The Spamhaus project provides a URL blacklist that is free for non-commercial, low-traffic use. A professional use data feed service is also available but not supported in Mahara. It is recommended that you read the Spamhaus DNSBL usage terms linked to in the information pop-up window before enabling this option. If this blacklist is enabled, URLs will be checked against this database. SURBL provides a URL blacklist that is free for organizations with fewer than 1,000 users. A professional use data feed service is also available but not supported in Mahara. Please read the terms and conditions linked from the information pop-up before enabling this option. Proxy Settings has 3 options. If your site uses a proxy server to access the internet, specify the proxies in hostname, port number notation. Then select your proxy's authentication model, if appropriate. Finally, enter the credentials required for your proxy to authenticate your web server in username:password format. Usually you would leave these as they are, in my case, blank. General Settings is the final area in Site Options. If Allow Public Views is set to Yes, users will be able to create portfolio views that are accessible to the public rather than only to logged-in users. If Allow Public Profiles is set to Yes, users will be able to set their profile view to be accessible to the public rather than only to logged-in users. If you enable the portfolio search, a Search My Portfolio side block is displayed in the My Portfolio section of the site. If Tag Cloud is enabled, users will see a side block in the My Portfolio section of the site with a list of their most frequently used tags. This is the default number of tags to display in a user tag cloud. If Small View Page Headers is enabled, a small header and site navigation block will be displayed when viewing or editing views. If Show Online Users is checked, users will see a side block on the right-hand side of the site with a list of the online users. Finally, you can force users to agree to terms and conditions before registration. You should edit your site's Terms and Conditions page before enabling this option. If you have made any changes to any section, click the Update Site options to save these.